This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shake it, bye.
Wake your punk ass up. That crust out your eyes.
God, protect my babies.
That was a clip from a new 6-part series called Answered Prayers, premiering Sunday, this Sunday at 10 p.m. on TLC, and it's being narrated, correct?
Yeah, presented.
Presented, okay, that's a better word, by the one and only, the lovely citizen of Sway in the Morning, Roma Downey is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Hey, Roma. Hi, everybody. So happy to be here. I got such points from my kids. The last time I was on your show, they were driving home from school, heard me on the radio, said, I can't believe, Mom, you were so cool. You were on that show.
Yeah, did they say that?
Yeah, they listened to your show. So hi, guys, if you're listening.
Wow, that's great. You know, and last time you were here, Mark and you came by, and you were talking about this series called The Bible.
Yes.
And you were basically like, yeah, listen, man, you want to see this series, man. Trust me, it's going to be good for the kids. It's going to be for the family. And everybody was like, okay, we read the Bible plenty of times, but I guess I know how the stories play out, but let's see how big it's really going to be. To the tune of 100 million people in the United States alone watch that series.
I know. Isn't it a blessing? It was amazing. People loved it. We still run into people that are just so grateful to have seen the stories brought to life on screen in a new and exciting way. We have a film that's going to come out in February. We went off to Italy and we did a redo of the epic film Ben-Hur.
Ben-Hur?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's one of my classic films.
As a classic film. So we've got Morgan Freeman in that, Jack Houston, and that's going to come out in February in theaters. But our heart at the moment is just filled with these answered prayers, this new TLC series that starts on Sunday nights. And we really hope that people will be able to curl up on the couch with their own kids and see these beautiful stories unfold. If you had no faith, you would watch these stories and go, okay, something supernatural's going on here. This is crazy how these people's lives have changed. And if you do have faith, you will see the hand of God all over this. But, you know, it's kind of like the X-Files for the faith audience.
For the faith audience.
I
love it.
Who wrote that? Did Mark write that? Now, are these based on true stories? Or?
Yeah, they're all true stories. So we reached out across the country and we found people who had extraordinary stories when their car is upside down in water and there's no way of escaping, and suddenly somebody comes in to help them, or in that clip that you just heard, a tornado is moving in and they're huddled in prayer and there's no way to get out. Situations that you think there's no way to get out of, and suddenly there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and people are rescued, people are healed. They're all true stories. We found these families all across America, and you know, everybody out there that's listening, there's some moment in your life where you've closed your eyes and you've said to yourself, God help me, whether you were in danger, whether you were sick, whether somebody you knew was sick, you've just called it in prayer. And this show celebrates those moments where we see God move in extraordinary ways.
Answer Prayers. This is Roma Downey with us, and that's going to be on this Sunday at 10 p.m. on TLC. I want to ask a quick question, because you obviously you live in a family of faith, and I'm sure you guys pray together, and you know.
Yeah, we do.
Yep.
Yeah, we do. You know, I make appointments for everything else in my life. You know, I work out with a trainer. I take business meetings. I meet a friend for lunch. And I think prayer can become a habit, you know, because it's like, is it going to be your steering wheel or is it going to be your spare tire?
Yeah.
You know, I want it to guide my life. I want to take control of my life through prayer. I don't want to just call it in when I need it, you know?
Well, if you had a family member who's an atheist, have you had to deal with that? How would you suggest someone deal with a person who's an atheist who's not of faith? Or do you just let them rock?
Well, you know, I think I think if you live your life in a way that you demonstrate, you know, the loving in your own life, that people can see, you know, the God in you. So, you know, and you kind of encourage them to read, you know. I'm always encouraging people to pick up the good book. There's something in there for everybody. But, you know, I don't believe in beating somebody over the head with it.
Yeah.
You know, I think when people's hearts are ready, they open. And when hearts are open, grace can move in.
Okay. Wow. Like that. Tracy, your heart recently got open.
Yeah, it did. And I wanted to know, Roma, what's your own greatest testimony, like, that could be a part of this show?
Well, people say, oh, I didn't get my prayers answered, or upset that maybe it didn't get answered in the way that they hoped that it might. I had a prayer a long, long time ago. My mother died when I was just a little girl, and I prayed that somebody would come into my life that would bring that nurturing love. I used to dream during my teenage years of a mother's hug. And when I first started a TV show called Touched by an Angel, I turned up on the set on the very first day, and I met the lady that was going to be my co-star, Della Reese. And I put out my hand to shake her hand. She didn't shake my hand. She wasn't interested in shaking my hand. She took me in her arms and she held me close, and I started to cry. And it was like an answer to a prayer, but 20 years later, a prayer was answered because the mother that I had been looking for my whole life, I found in Della Reese. So that was it was a beautiful moment for me. She remains my mother to this day. And it's just great, the Lord takes and the Lord restores.
That is, man, I said, there it is. I thought it was the end of a Run DMC song, Roma. You spit a lyric right there. Throw a beat under Roma. You gonna
get Roma to freestyle?
Yeah, see, Roma's spitting bars right now. We're going to put a beat under there. Next time you talk, we're going to throw a hip-hop beat underneath you. All right, we're going to open up the phone lines, 888-742-3345. You want to speak with Roma Downey, Sway in the Morning. This is Glory to the Lord. Roma Downey is here. Wife of Mark Burnett. I say a friend of mine because you guys are the only people that I've met through entertainment, Hollywood, if you will, because I met Mark I met him officially when he was producing, I want to say, MTV Movie Awards years ago, and I was doing some work inside the big show. I remember, yep. And then we just had this conversation, and honestly, I didn't really know who he was, so we were just having this conversation. And he was telling me about, like, I don't know, not skydiving, but it was some recreational thing he had done. And so I started talking about fishing, and, we just hit it off. And then it was like, by the way, Sway, this is who we need you to talk, the executive producer, Mark. But, oh, you're Mark Burnett? So it's just, anyway, And they still, to this day, I moved, so I got to give you my change address, but they always send holiday cards.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Christmas cards.
Christmas cards.
Yeah.
With all the family members on it. Now, last time we saw Mark, he looked like Grizzly Adams, because his beard had grown.
He did. It was very hairy.
Very hairy.
Yeah.
Did you pray for him to remove that beard?
I did. I'll tell you, it really is the answered prayer story that he shaved. And I'll tell you where he shaved, which just makes the story really crazy, is that he shaved on an airplane on a ride from Europe to Los Angeles.
Really?
And I fell asleep. We were finishing filming Ben-Hur. And he had this big bushy beard. And I fell asleep on this long flight. And when I opened my eyes, he was walking down the aisle of the plane, clean shaven. It's like, I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, thank God it was not a bumpy flight. Right?
Yeah,
and he assured me that he cleaned up the bathroom, which was my first concern about all those other passengers. But he looks 20 years younger.
Yeah.
He took this beard off, and but to be honest with you, it got a wee bit itchy to scratch him, is the truth.
Yeah,
it was a wee, without revealing too much. It was a bit scratchy, so I was very glad that he shaved.
A bit scratchy. Wow.
Yeah.
Stop it, Sway.
Django.
Don't be sinning on him.
This is a family show, Roma. What made him do it?
I think he'd had it for over a year, and it was just time. It was just time.
Okay.
To take it off. But
any bugs? You ever see bugs that cut up in his beard? Like gnats, mosquitoes.
Oh gosh.
Mosquitoes.
Yeah.
No, but we did celebrate Easter with the beard, and the kids were joking that it was the Easter egg hunt in the beard, but nothing was found in there. No.
He could have really just because Rastas are in a way Christian as well, and he could have just dreadlocked his beard and just changed the game, right?
No. Mark Burnett can't have locked it.
No. He, I think everybody thought, because we had made the Bible, we'd made the film Son of God, we did the TV series AD, The Bible Continues, that perhaps his beard, had been influenced by the work we were doing, that it was kind of a big biblical beard.
Like a Moses thing.
Yeah, and I think that maybe, I also think he experienced freedom. Because, men maybe don't like to shave their faces every day like that. And he kind of enjoyed the freedom that brought. But, to everything there is a season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he did the beard thing. It was good. And, anyway, now it's gone. And I'm pleased that it's that we get to see him. He's so handsome.
Answer prayers. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's
this
right.
Sunday, 10 p.m. on TLC.
I just had one quick question. Being that Mark is now the CEO of United Artists and you head up the Lightworkers division of United Artists, how much of your beliefs and your faith and everything plays the part in choosing projects? Like, is it hard to separate the two?
Well, United Artists has a much wider umbrella. Lightworkers specifically is the faith and family element of our company. And so it absolutely is the heartbeat for the kinds of material that we're looking for. We say at Lightworkers that it's better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. And so the kinds of projects that we're choosing, while they maybe aren't all specifically faith-based, they all have elements to them that are inspirational, that bring hope in some way, which is really the value of Answered Prayers, which starts on Sunday night on TLC. It's a hope-filled show. There's so much bad news in the world, and there's so much heartbreak in the world, that we just saw this as an opportunity to be able to curl up with your kids and watch a show where the outcomes are great, where amazing things happen, where it doesn't have to end badly, because of the kindness of somebody. And so anybody that's listening out there today, I encourage you, that when you think all is over, reach out in prayer. It does work. And we could be the answer to somebody's prayers. You don't know. Pick up the phone. Call that friend you haven't called for a while. You might be just the person they need to hear from.
Heather, you want to?
Yeah, no, really quick, Roma, because I follow you on Twitter, and I noticed a couple of weeks ago you had tweeted out, you guys. I follow.
You a stalker?
No, it's not stalker,
Roma
but ever
stalker.
since
I
she came,
love Twitter. I love my Twitter.
she always tweets positive things out.
I do. I really believe in that. I think every day I want to just try and add something positive into the morning and send it out there. We're actually doing a Twitter campaign connected to Answered Prayers. You can only tweet in 140 characters or less. So we have hashtag Pray140, and we're trying to create a prayer revival just to get the country praying again. If you start your day in prayer and you end your day in prayer, it's a great bookend. Just even if your prayer just in the morning was thank you God, the minute you can reframe into being grateful for what you have, it takes your focus of all those places where you think you don't have enough or you're not good enough, or just move into gratitude.
Yeah.
It can be as simple as that,
Yeah, well, I just wanted to say congratulations. You had tweeted also that you guys got a bunch of nominations recently with your television shows, and I wanted to say congratulations on that. But it had me thinking, do people ever dish you on Twitter? Do you get like in the Twitter beefs? Because it's always positive, and I'm like, she's so positive. Do people ever like hit her back and go, shut up, nobody wants to hear that today, blah, 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 blah.
Of course they do. But, it's like you just keep sending back out kindness and love.
Light the candles.
Light the candles. That's right. There's always going to be naysayers and there's always going to be cynics, And it's like, that's a free country, right? You get to say. But I've learned over the years that to keep an open heart and try to keep a thick skin.
That's what's up.
Roma Downey, ladies and
Ain't
gentlemen.
getting in no Twitter beefs with these fools, son.
All right.
Yeah.
You can reach her at Real Roma Downey.
I had to be Real Roma Downey because somebody had taken my name. And then when I called up and said, excuse me, I think you have my name because it wasn't their name. They said, yeah, how much are you going to pay me for it?
Yeah.
And I said, well, I don't think that's really, on principle, it didn't seem right. So I chose the at Real Roma Downey instead.
I'm at Real Sway for the same thing,
Are
same
you?
reason.
Yeah.
Someone took my name and they said, how much you going to pay me? They just heard the tone. They heard the phone tone. After that, I'm going to pay you no attention is what I'm going to pay you. Oh, thank you. Oh, it's too late for the sound effect. Thank you, though.
Yeah,
All right.
try.
All right, so Answer Prayers, Sunday, 10 p.m., TLC. Tell the family we said hello.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Roma, thanks for coming by, too.
Thank you.
I'll be watching. And we stay in prayer here. You got to.
Yeah.
Look at the carpets.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.